feedback vacuum will be horrific for your team and your culture. As a leader, providing feedback to your team, individual team members, groups team members, will ensure that there is no fake news happening in your business. That there is no discussions around the water cooler or the photocopier. Do they still even have photocopiers these days? You see, ladies and gents, there is so much discussion going on these days around team members and whether we should be giving them feedback, formal feedback or informal feedback. Should we in fact be giving them? The reality is everybody wants feedback. Everybody wants to know what they're doing well, what they could do to improve. It's just how we tell them. Because when you do tell people how they're going, it allows them to get better. It allows them to keep doing what they're doing great. And most importantly, it makes them feel engaged with the brand. Step up as leaders and give feedback. Welcome to JTInTheRaw, show 232, where I chew the thin on business. And after 32 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. And today's topic has been inspired by an experience that I went through this week at our local netball club or association, at our local Netball Association. So let me give you 2 examples of what has happened both this week and over a few weeks. And there's an underlying message here for all of us. Firstly, they picked teams this week for state championships. And one girl wasn't picked. She was in the team last year, not in the team this year. And over the last 6 months, 3 coaches, 4 selectors had not given this particular player any feedback on what she was doing. Bear in mind, we are talking about a highly impressionable, a highly emotional 12-year-old. No feedback on what she is doing well, or in fact what she needs to do in order to stay in the team. In fact, the only feedback she got was when the email came out with the team selected and her not named in that team. Ladies and gentlemen, feedback is critical in order to keep our team members sane, emotionally stable. The second example is a young girl who has received 0 feedback over the last 6 months as well. She's got a feeling inside her that she will not get picked for the next team. She's like that team member, the staff member, that's got this feeling that they're not going to be the next person to be promoted into a new role in your business. That was her feeling. So she was disengaged. She skipped training. She fainted illness. She wasn't interested in going to training. At training, she was disengaged, but she was more of a a disruptor at training. Not intentionally, probably more subconsciously than anything else. Now, if she'd received some feedback, maybe, just maybe, she might have stayed more engaged in the club and the situation that she was in. Both these examples happen in many businesses, not just in sporting teams, but they happen in businesses for us. And this is critical. If we want to take our business from here to here, if we want to do that, we need all of our team buying into that journey. They'll buy in when they're engaged. They'll be engaged when they receive feedback. What I like to define a feedback vacuum, in simple terms, is telling your team what they're doing well, what they're doing okay, and areas that they can improve. And when we don't do that, we have a vacuum. So we have conversations around the water cooler that can be detrimental to our business. Feedback means that our team members know exactly how they're performing. Our role is to vary how that feedback might be delivered based on their generation, based on their personality style, based on whether it's virtual or face-to-face. Yes, that is a skill and we need to work on that. But before we even get to that, we have to have the intestinal fortitude as leaders to stand up and give our team feedback, to talk to them and make them feel, make them know that we care about them and we want them to get better. So I did some research around these disengaged people because I think without feedback, that is the first thing we get. A disengaged player, a disengaged team member, a disengaged staff member. And here's what I found. 52% of current US employees are disengaged at work. 18%, a further 18% of them are in fact actively disengaged. Now, an actively disengaged staff member, cumulative in the US, costs the US economy between $450 and $550 billion a year. That's with a B. 18%. So almost one in 5 employees are costing the US economy $500 billion. How does that translate to you? How many employees do you have? 5, 10, 15? Based on those numbers, you've got 1, 2, 3 people that are actively disengaged. You've got half your workforce that are actually disengaged. How do we engage them? How do we bring them back? Well, here's 3 tips for you. Number 1 is improve our management, improve our leadership. Give better recognition. Give better one-on-one time with people. And also give better feedback, better quality feedback, depth of feedback. Number 2 is give career growth. Show the development plan. Have people understand how they can personally grow within the business. That will keep them engaged. And number 3 is improve your communications. Not just formal communications, but informal communications on how they are going. Our role as a leader is to lead. And sometimes being a leader simply means we have some tough jobs. And feedback could possibly be one of our toughest. But not giving feedback is meaning that we're having this disengaged workforce. So I'm asking you to talk to your team, to talk to your staff, tell them how they're going, keep them engaged, give them career development, give them your one-on-one time and help them get better. Because another piece of data out of the United States is this: 70% of people show up to work every single day because of their manager. 70% come because of their manager. Our managers, our teams, our leaders, we guide them, we inspire them, we direct them, we motivate them, we give them the direction that they need to be successful in their roles. Your feedback is so critical to that direction. Now, I can almost guarantee this JT in the Raw will not be watched by many people because I think it cuts to the bone of what our role is as a leader, providing feedback, giving good news and bad news. And lots of people don't like that. But the reality is, in so many businesses, there is this feedback vacuum. We are not providing the feedback that is needed by our team members for them to keep doing what they're doing well and how to get better at what they're doing. I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did watch it in full, I hope you get some ideas and some inspiration around providing feedback. If you did, I'd love to know about it. And if you got value out of today's show, hit me with that love heart right now or a thumbs up. Even if you're watching on replay and you got value out of this, please put something in the comments below so I know it hit the nerve for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned in to JT in the Raw, show 232, where I chew the thin on business. And after 31 years in business, just a few things to chew. If you got value out of today's show, I'd be really grateful if you would hit the share button wherever it is, or tag anybody in the comments below that you think could get value out of today's show, that you think might in fact need a little nudge about ensuring there is not a feedback vacuum at their place of work or even in their sporting team. I'll catch you on the flip side.